Howdy fellas, and thanks for joining me again on the Bitcoin Trading channel. In today's video, we're going to review everything that I just finished posting over on Discord, looking at the weekly charts for Bollinger Bands, Ichimoku Cloud, the MACD indicator, and the relative strength index, and coming up with some predictions. You may know from my channel that I've been predicting the bottom for the past 3 weeks, and that prices have essentially gone sideways. We had some fake out breakouts, we had some BART moves up and down, and we're essentially going sideways. So we have to zoom out to the bigger picture to see if we can look inside this, what for me is a potential 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, that if prices break above that, it is part of my trading signal. And now for the mandatory disclaimer. This isn't financial advice, and I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just pointing out a trading plan for educational purposes. You can find out more about our disclaimer up in the link above or down in the description below this video. I'm super grateful to have you along in this video series. It is completely supported by members like you. The best thing you can do to help me in return is to watch this video right to the end. And so I want to use the indicators to see if they'll help me look inside this to see if this is a 1, 2, 3 that has the force to be breaking higher, or is it consolidating to be a trend continuation down from here. Let's start off a little backwards here today and look at the longs and the shorts. The market has been held up through this crash by the longs buying all that selling that was going on. Otherwise, the crash would have been much deeper. So this capitulation was really absorbed. However, those longs are still in positions, and if prices start to drop, they're going to have to close those positions, and they have to sell to close, which would be very, very bad. So I'm really watching to see what these longs and shorts are doing so that I can keep my risk control to the maximum. The next chart that I posted in the Discord general chat shows the Bollinger Bands in the weekly time frame. And this is a really important chart. If we go back to the bottom is in video, you can see in the highlights here where I'm pointing out those Bollinger Band mean reversion buy signals at each of the different bottoms that we've gone through. And so for me, that we're gathering a 1, 2, 3 bottom at the very bottom of the Bollinger Bands is good. However, I am kind of worried about the Bollinger Bands widening this way, because as they're widening this way, and should prices start to drop down and they're widening more, that's accommodating the downtrend further. So I'm really looking for the reversal here using the Bollinger Bands. And I want to use the Ichimoku Cloud to take a look at what might we expect to see if we do bounce up from here. We could go up through the red cloud. That transition from the red to the green cloud is always an important transition where the breakout could happen throughout that. So we're watching really closely now. If we break up above this red cloud, all is good. If we hold support up above the red cloud right from here, if we break up above those Bollinger Band mean reversion areas and we hold there, all is good and bullish is on for sure. The trouble is the 12-hour Bollinger Bands are just about to cross negative. And if that crosses negative as we're breaking down, that is the trend continuation sell signal from the Bollinger Bands. That is what it's giving us right there, is the sell signal, and it does have me sweating on this long prediction of the bottom formation being in. But there's more to it yet. While trading the trends in cryptocurrencies is an important part of my cryptocurrency strategy, it's only a part of the pie. Another important part of the pie is I take a piece of all of my profits and I tax myself, and I lock that away in a long-term hold wallet. And right now, I'm using the Celsius wallet to store and hold Bitcoin and Litecoin because it pays me interest every week that compounds. That interest compounds every week, and over time, compound interest is the most powerful force that we can use for our financial success in the future. If you'd like to check out the Celsius wallet, there's a referral link down below. You'll benefit and I'll benefit. And I'd be super keen to hear any of your experiences that you may have with the Celsius wallet. As we go into the weekly MACD indicator, we can see here that we don't need to have the weekly MACD cross for the bull market to break out. In fact, we only need the 3-day to cross, and that's when the bullish will start to break out. So we're right on the very edge of that. And should we be taking off and breaking higher, then I would expect that I'm going to go with it, and I'll start off small and I'll add on to it later after I get a little bit of headway underneath that position. And then finally, we get into the relative strength index. And as I went through the 12-hour, you can see where there was a potential for this consolidation to break out higher in the past. And we did a dip down. That turned out to be Bollinger Band mean reversion buy signal right here on a smaller time frame. And then prices took off from there, which means that we must be prepared and ready for that. Should prices be coming down, we still have to be ready for it to turn around right there. Even though it's breaking down and all the bearish indicators are shaping up, this will be a critical time to be watching closely, and I'll be posting that over in our Pro Alerts chat. And then to wrap it up, given that the relative strength index gave us that scare that we might pull back and do the reversal and then pump, I want to be aware of what that means and where would that price level be. Around the $27,600, around the $28,000 level. Should prices be plummeting down to there and then consolidate, there's a specific pattern that we look for this Bollinger Band mean reversion signal, and I'll be watching for that one for sure. And that wraps it up for the Bitcoin part of this video, but I want to end it with a couple educational plugs. I've got a new video series coming out, and I'm releasing them one at a time over on the sister channel, Intro to Cryptos. And if you head over to the Intro to Cryptos channel on YouTube, there's a new video that stablecoin regulation changes everything. New video I put out today about an upcoming unexpected altcoin bull market coming right now this summer. Be sure to check out this video. It's time-sensitive information. And that wraps up the video for today. I am super excited to see how this plays out. Are we going to be bouncing off this and crashing hard? I certainly hope not. And if we do break up above this, it's going to be fantastic. Even if we're breaking down to these levels, you know it could be the big reversal before we take off. So start off small on all of these trades, and there'll be time to add on to it when we get back up above these levels, back around above the 32,000 level, before we can even think of adding on to these very first small positions. My advice is to stop scalping, learn how to put a small trade on and sit still. Let the market do the work. Trade safe and keep those losses small.